Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look here at Casper. It's been a little while since I covered this. I recall covering it late last year. And again, I just cover requests from my community members. So if you have any requests, go ahead and mention them down below or follow us on social media too. We're actually trying to grow our Twitter community here. We are actually doing fairly well in a short amount of time. So look forward to hopefully working with you there. I got tons of new content, of course, coming day in and day out. Very good fundamental and technical data as well. So be sure to check that out in your own time. CryptoCash.tech is a site for everything else, of course. You want to become a better trader, go ahead and reference that. I have Trading Academy, Community, and Signals as well to kind of get you on track, right? We've got a lot of cool members that graduated here recently. Congratulations to them. And in later videos, I'll go ahead and share some of their results. They're really, really awesome and how well they're trading now. So what happens with Casper? What we want to look at next is retracement. So you saw me pull out the Fibonacci retracement levels. Basically, I went from the most recent low, this is the lowest, most recent point, to the highest, of course. And what that does, it basically just tells us here that at 0.382, 0.5, or 0.618, we're going to likely see a retracement. Now, again, that's just based off statistical data. Traditionally speaking, when you have a coin that kind of goes this far up, it'll hit one of its previous resistance levels, reject, or break right through, which it did, and come back down to test that level. Since yesterday's close was right there at 0.382, it makes sense for the price to come back down to that level. In fact, why don't we go ahead and pull up our Elliott wave and see. This is the way I like to kind of confirm how we're doing in this current trend, because we can see we saw this previous low, establishing higher high, higher low, higher high, and the next one should be a higher low, okay? So we should experience pullback. Now granted, this isn't complete yet, right? Because this is dotted line, of course, just kind of implying that we haven't hit our highest point yet. So there's no guarantees it's just gonna turn around. But with this amount of momentum over the last few trading days, we can see 3 white soldiers here, and then today's the 4th. You're supposed to experience a red day on the 4th day, instead it takes off. A lot of shorts got squeezed out, the price got pushed up, and we should expect 0.382, I'd say, at the very least, to get retested. Taking a look at the RSI, well above 70. Anytime Casper's done this in the past, it has retraced but continued. You can see that the price action pulled back for a couple of days, but continuing to go higher. So in its history, it does very well when it cranks up over 70, but there's also cases in point where the price action will pull back significantly too. So I would just say be mindful. It's kind of one way or the other, but I would say at this point a short would make more sense just based on the overall sense of what we're seeing so far. Right? We haven't looked at anything else, but from the daily, it's absolutely overextended, and I like to short into overextensions, but we'll look at some confirming factors to see. Let's quickly note we are above all moving averages there. It makes perfect sense. Likely the same scenario on the 4 hour, and nothing much has changed there. So the last 4 hours is significantly bullish. We can actually see here on CD sequential, we hit a 9 here recently, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4 hour candlesticks in. So we're basically 12 hours into this overextension. And it should have stopped at 72 hours, but no, it continues further. We're almost a full 100 hours into this continuation, right? So at this point, what goes up must come down. The likelihood of it continuing much further up is less. I think it would make a lot more sense for the price to pull back than it would be to go up, okay? Again, stranger things can happen, but I'm gonna go with the odds here and say that we're absolutely overextended on most time frames. Let's see what the hourly tells us too. Big surprise, we're at a 6. Technically, we could get a few more hours left to continuation. Okay, so maybe just consider waiting, but I don't know. We're gonna see this work as a magnet here and here. I would think that we're much more likely for the price action to come down than it would be to go up from here. Again, mostly because we are overextended past the 3 white soldiers. A lot of candlestick patterns here that are kind of getting invalidated, effectively telling us that a turnaround makes a lot more sense in the near future. So I got my eyes on this one here. Take a look at the cloud, of course, all green lights here to leave your long position open. There's no reason to necessarily short into this, but I can tell you though that every single time frame is kind of telling us we do not have a green light. We also want to take a look at CC Golden here and see that we have some previous buy signals and some recent sell signals. So this just shows you how overextended it is, because my indicator that I created helps you get good entry points, but it also helps you get good exit points too. And these are supposed to be conservative exit points too, not these egregious times when it goes that high. So that tells me that a pullback would make sense, because once again, big surprise, completely overextended. Every single time frame is overextended right now. So again, not sure how else to say it, but it seems like a pretty decent shorting opportunity. Again, I'm saying this for me, not for you. Take very good care. We are in price discovery mode right now. Another thing to kind of note is that we have the most recent high here, and that puts us right at about 55 cents. I'm just going to round up and say 55. Okay, so long story short, it's common for the all-time high or the most recent high, whichever comes first, to effectively be retested as a support. Okay, we haven't been retested yet. The day is still young, but there's a good chance this guy could come down here to bounce off right there at that 55 cent mark and continue higher. So I'm gonna speculate we're gonna see a downtrend and then another continuation up to see if we can complete like a really large cup and handle. Okay, again, not the prettiest one, but everything here is screaming overextension, and it would make sense to see a pullback soon. I hope this was beneficial for you. Again, please consider following us on social media. Love to have your help in growing the channel, and obviously like and subscribe here as well on YouTube. Don't get me wrong, but it would be great to be able to continue to grow that as well, so we can just bring more content to anyone that needs it. All right, so thanks again so much for joining me here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you all in the next one. Take good care of yourself.